Yeah, brothers and sisters, Hotel Black Power. This is an extension of what I was talking about earlier with this medical apartheid and this fanticide, which is taking the black community out like it's not nothing. And we have to put brakes on this stuff. We can no longer allow the black community to continue, pardon the interruption, but we can no longer allow the black community to continue to suffer with our brothers and sisters, with our elderly, not receiving proper health care, not receiving adequate assistance based on status. See, this is apartheid at its best. You know, where it depending on your zip code, depending on your annual income, depending on your skin color, will determine what type of medical insurance that you qualify for. And if you have a so-called prestigious job and you work on a plantation where you're making a few pennies, then you are afforded the opportunity to receive adequate health insurance, but at a skyrocketing rate. So, you know, brothers and sisters, that's why it's so important for us to do what we can to not be at the mercy of these devils medically and physically. Start to change your diet. Begin to eat better. Begin to think better. If you were told you had 25 minutes to live, that's it, what would you do? Would you spend 5 to 10 minutes trying to find out who, when, what, and why? Or what will you do? That's why it's important that you begin to show love for the black community. Begin to have honor for your people, because it's very important to embrace in all aspects your queen, parents if any, brothers and sisters, neighbors, to let them know that change is possible, that liberation is possible. A lot of people say they would go rob banks and all this type of shit. You know, it takes 20 to 25 minutes to rob the bank, so by the time you get in your vehicle with the money, that's it. And so, you know, I'm talking about realistically. Realistically. Reality-based situations where you would have to go and do as much as you can with little time that you have left. That's why it's important for us, brothers and sisters, to get out here and to keep moving, keep putting in work, keep the ball rolling, keep functioning on a high frequency. Don't worry about what anyone says. Don't worry about what anyone does if it doesn't affect you. If it has nothing to do with you, you have to keep pushing. You have to fight for your future generations that's going to come after you, that deserve an opportunity at a fair shot at a piece of the pie. So it's very, very imperative, brothers and sisters. And that's why I sit back and watch and read some of the comments that some of you brothers and sisters make. You know, some of them are really ridiculous. But some of them have a lot of meaning to them. Yeah, so it's very, very important, brothers and sisters, that we look at the bigger picture of what we have to do to liberate our people. Revolution is bloody. Revolution will not be televised. But revolution, as Dr. Khaled always says, revolution is our only solution. We've tried everything else. We've tried everything else. We've tried marching. We've tried singing. We've tried begging. We've tried pleading. Now it is time to step forward, because too many of our people are dying. The prison and mass incarceration, the prison industrial complex, medical apartheid, medical genocide, among a bunch of other things that plague the black community. The black community has to start to take itself back. Take itself back. We have come so accustomed in 2019 to once again become the brand new high-tech slaves. We are the high-tech slaves. We walk around and we pride ourselves and enamel ourselves in what the master has given us to wear, given us to eat, given us to drive, even given us to have sex with. Because a lot of you brothers are sleeping with other men. Because this LGBT shit is another form of genocide. Another form. You can say what you want. You can try to defend that. But this is a counterproductive, race-destroying process that has been designed specifically to destroy and annihilate black reproduction on this planet. Two men can't make a baby. Two women can't make a baby. So that ends the family bloodline right then and there. And so what do? You sit back and you try to take babies out of other black families under the name of CFS and all these adoption agencies that micromanage our queens in the hood and find some of the most minute reasons to take their children away. And the next thing you know, they are being raised by some goddamn crackers. And we say nothing about it. The promotion of this LGBT movement that you are criticized and ridiculed and spat on and shitted on, if you don't go along and agree with two men sleeping with each other, two women sleeping with each other, which is an abomination. That's common sense. Common sense. I was listening to Sirius Radio, that LL Cool J, which he's bisexual as well. If you don't believe that, get the book by the transgender boy, Tony Newman, who said LL was one of his clients. But anyway, on his Rock the Bell station, they were celebrating the pioneer LGBT music artist. So yesterday was Liberace Day. You know, all of these, you know, Luther Vandross, who was a phenomenal singer, but was gay, was a pillow biter. Freddie Jackson, you know, and all of the gay rappers are the pioneers of, you know, the old school faggots and dykes. In other words, they were celebrated, you know, and it makes no sense. Quincy Jones, it was his day yesterday, but it's no Khalid Muhammad Day. It's no Ida B. Wells Day. There's no George Jackson Day. There's no Huey Newton Day. I hope you can understand where I'm going with this and where I'm coming from. Because this is part of genocide too. When you wipe out and discredit the soldiers and G's and queens that put the lick down and put in so much work trying to liberate and emancipate black people on this planet, that these devils now teach our babies that these were the villains instead of the fucking heroes and warriors. This is why I always tell you all, brothers and sisters, that when your babies get out of public school, the public fool, they need to come home for an hour of school from you. They need your education. They need you to give them the real, honest truth on who's who and who did what. Once again, I saw a poster that had a white boy with the same dress like Tupac, and they said 200 years from now, they will be saying that is Tupac. And that's bothered me for the last couple of days. And it also is making me put in so much work. This is why I give shout outs to those who are putting in work. Sunshine, Melania, the Whole Cuts, Miss Nelson, William Ivory, Brian Simpson, Mark Gibb, Calvin Purnell. You know, brothers and sisters that's trying to put in some serious work. And then you got those who are worrying about curse words. But the cracker curses you every day. He's put a curse on your ass every day. You grew up with that type of language. Most of you that say that use that same language in your homes. But you want to hold me accountable where you don't want me to express myself and vent my compassion and rage and passion for liberation in my own way. And to those who think like that, you know, it's only two words I have to say to you. Fuck you. Plain and simple. Be a warrior. Be a god. Be a goddess. Stop worrying about the inventory of your brothers and sisters. And worry about their emancipation. Focus on getting free. Yeah, well, just picture a whole bunch of slaves shackled down on one big plantation, but no one is worrying about escaping. No one is worrying about busting masters' head because they're scared to death. No one is worried about getting free. They're worried about how tight someone else's shackles is. Whose shackles are bigger? Instead of collaborating with each other and get off the plantation. Because let me explain this to you. When you talk about physical and chattel slavery, our ancestors fought every day. It wasn't like they portray on television, where they were just all singing and picking cotton and you know, mowing the land and all this, cultivating the land and shit. It was guerrilla warfare every motherfucking day. People were leaving. Houses were burning down, being burnt down. People running everywhere. See, they don't want to talk about that because that would make the white man appear and to show his true goddamn colors. So they put that under the desk at school. And they make it seem like Abraham Lincoln was so compassionate and all this bullshit. He was no different than the rest of them. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation specifically for economic reasons. Had nothing to do with freeing blacks and giving blacks their equal share and giving them their cut. Nothing to do with that. Because it never took place. I remember working on a job in Virginia. It was Arthur Treacher's. And this cracker, well, a sister had asked could she get off early or something. And she had complained to this fat, greasy, bloated, gelatin ass, stinking, fish and doo-doo smelling ice ape that she was being treated like a slave, that we were being treated like slaves. And he said this out his mouth, this goddamn demon. He said, Lincoln freed the slaves, but I didn't. And he smiled. And so right then and there, because I came with honest intentions on that plantation. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that I took every motherfucking thing in there that wasn't nailed down. And I know that I have an old soul in my spirit. I know I've been here before. I know that. A lot of you been here before. You got to get in touch with yourself. Put down the weed and all that bullshit and them drinks and put that shit down. Stop being faded and clogging your frequency and your vibration up with this bullshit and these chemicals. And step up into the greatest and the highest frequency that you have within you. Your God frequency that's in you. See, those substances are designed to keep you faded and keep you inebriated and keep your mental and your spiritual vision from flourishing. You know, for some, it's nothing wrong with a brother and sister toasting, taking a, you know, having their glass of wine after dinner or whatever. I don't drink. You know, I don't smoke. And things are much clearer when your mind is clear. And I'm saying this because we need many strong clear-minded, conscious thinking, conscious acting soldiers and queens that we possibly can have for our liberation. Everyone wants to benefit of liberation, but no one wants to put the work in. This is not going to be a Nike liberation. It's not going to be a Cadillac Escalade liberation. Liberation is bloody. And we have to stop being afraid to step up to the plate and deal and accept whatever comes down the pipe and battle this goddamn cracker. And see, that's why they have movies like Game of Thrones, to show you, they really showing how they really were. Homosexuals, fags, dykes, non-bathing, filthy motherfucking crackers. Filthy animals. Long, stinking hair like the animals. And they show you exactly how they live. It was 100 times more filthier and nasty than they showing in this series. But the Moors came over there and tried to civilize them twice. Running water, disinfect, street lights. Stop them from sleeping with animals, built corrals. Because they had chicken pox from sleeping with chickens and all types of wild animals and poultry and geese. And the little children and babies were being pecked half to death. And they begin to get a fever from that pecking from these filthy goddamn chickens. And so that's where chicken pox originated from. Smallpox, measles, yellow fever, typhoid. That's why it was called the Dark Ages. Because millions of them died with that type of savage living. In and out of the caves. We showed them how to use toilets, brush their teeth, comb their hair, made combs for them, brushes, soap. Can you imagine, based on what the Moors said in their writings, that when they entered Europe, certain parts of Europe was like foggy, and that was from the stench, the smell of hundreds of thousands and millions of unbathed, unshaved, filthy savages. But they call us monkeys and all this shit. But if you pull all the hair back off of the gorilla, you will have the motherfucking white man. Just some food for thought, brothers and sisters. Enough. I don't want to get deeper and deeper. I just want to give you some tidbits for you to work with and some things. Put some things on your mind for you to think about, so you can make certain changes if it applies to you. If it doesn't, keep on banging. And until we meet again, brothers and sisters, Hotep, Black Power.